Another mine dam wall has collapsed at the Jagersfontein mine in the Free State. The dam released water into the neighbourhood of Charlesville and a nearby farmland late yesterday, and the flow of water has since stopped. Now, this is the second such incident in as many weeks. The previous dam wall collapse earlier this month sent a wave of sludge from a tailings dam into a residential area, leaving one person dead and many homeless. 2 people are still unaccounted for. No loss of life or damage has been reported in the latest incident. All right, now let's discuss this. We're now joined via Zoom by Nkhumeleni Musekene, is the Director of Compliance and Enforcement in the Free State with the Department of Water and Sanitation. Good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you so much for your time.
Good afternoon, Unati, and good afternoon to the viewers.
So the latest is that Jagersfontein Developments has denied reports that there has been another mine wall collapse, at the Free State mine. The company's legal compliance office, in fact, saying they are dealing with water flows through an adjacent dam. What have you been able to ascertain with this latest incident?
Unati, I was there this morning to get the story well, but in reality is that there was no collapse of any dam wall. What happened is that there was a dam which is called Dam 10, which is adjacent to the already failed tailing storage facility. So when the tailing storage facility failed, it affected the dam wall of that particular dam, which is a dam of raw water. So what happened is that there have been some outflow from that particular dam since that incident happened on the 11th. So, but the flow was very little, not that much in terms of flow rate. But however, due to rains which occurred on Sunday and Monday in Jagersfontein, it then increased the level of that particular dam, which is Dam 10, so subsequently then increasing the flow out of that particular dam. So what happened is that in that particular dam that I'm talking to, which is Dam 10, there were some debris and some sediments which were on the wall after the collapse of the tailing storage facility. So those debris and sediments were then washed away yesterday. So obviously, when it washes, those things are washed away, it increases the flow out of that particular dam. So the reason why the little rain affected or had an impact on the level of the dam was as a result that upstream of that particular dam, it's already saturated because the water levels or the groundwater levels are very high. So there's any little water that comes will flow into that particular dam. So the reason people panicked is because as a result of the culverts are which are supposed to take water underneath the R704 road. So those were then affected during the time of the tail storage facility when it collapsed. So they are blocked. So the water then was running above or over the R704. That is then what caused the panic to the people or the local people there. So which one cannot blame them because they don't want to see the repeat of what transpired on the 11th.
Absolutely. I mean, as you say, one can't blame them for being concerned. How concerned are you as a department in as far as some of these, systems that seem to be failing, particularly if you look at, you say it is, a little spill of the dam raw water, but there is obvious concern for, cleanliness, for toxicity levels that may seep into just your normal drinking water. How concerned are you as a department, and are you investigating some of those dams that were also called into question, during the first dam collapse?
we are very concerned, especially on the type of, in terms of the resource itself, in terms of polluting the resource, especially for drinking water, like you have already you said. So we did take the samples and we are analyzing a lot of parameters. But the team is now, we just received the results. The team is busy with the analysis to check what could be the those parameters that are very high. But in terms of arsenic, we cannot confirm that it is very high. The limits are, in terms of the SANS, which is the standards for drinking water, they are not that very much high at the dam, which is Nkhumeleni Dam, that is used to abstract water for drinking by Jagersfontein. But that then, what we will do is we will ask the Bloom Water to also take samples at the water treatment works to check if there's any trace of arsenic. But for now, I can confirm that the results doesn't show that much concern in terms of arsenic. What I can talk to is issues of suspended solids, because obviously they could be high. So that is what I can confirm for now. But all the results, we are busy in terms of analyzing them, and then we can make them available once we are done with the analysis to check what is of concern, especially also the issue of irrigation. If to check also in terms of the irrigation standards, to say, is this water still safe for irrigation? What could be the problems if that water can be used for irrigation? So we are busy with analysis and checking all the parameters in line with the standards, the drinking water and also for the irrigation. So we are concerned.
So whilst you're doing these tests, and of course you are waiting for these results, just remind us again in terms of the accommodation that you've made for residents to have safe drinking water. What are the plans in the interim?
In terms of the accommodation for people to sleep, people who are evacuated from their houses, is that what you're asking?
No, in terms of plans for them to have safe drinking water now, currently, whilst you are testing, just some of the damages that happened from the first incident.
No, the plant is working. The Bloom Water is supplying water to the community. Water that is supplied now by Bloom Water, it's safe. So like I said earlier, that the only thing that we checked was at the dam, and we found that arsenic was very low. So in terms of water, people are getting water. Bloom Water is supplying water through the normal way of supplying water, because the water treatment works was not affected. It was only for 1 day or two due to the electricity unavailability when the dam had collapsed and affected the substation for Eskom. But in terms of drinking water, people are receiving water. And also the mine has bought some water bottles in which they are supplying to the schools and the hospitals. So there is some element of assisting or intervention. The other thing is that during the time when the plant was not operating for the 2 days that there was no electricity, we had some water tankers which were provided by the Bloom Water. So people have been receiving water. So there's no idea that people have not been receiving water.
Right, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Musekene. He is, of course, from the Department of Water and Sanitation, saying that everyone at Jagersfontein is currently receiving water and is being catered for.